Hi, everyone. My name is Jenna Carlsson. I'm a certified Marie Kondo consultant and professional organizer here in Contra Costa County, located in Walnut Creek. I'm the owner of the Joy Filter, and I help people let go of the stress, overwhelm, and disorganization and create space for more organization, room, joy, and ease. So, thank you for taking the time to be here today, and Happy New Year to you. And today we're going to be talking about letting go and getting organized and creating a workspace that sparks joy for you in 2026. So if you've been feeling like your desk and your day feel overfull of papers, appointments, life, work, everything, I got you. I came to Marie Kondo's version of organizing because I was overloaded with work and with papers, and I needed a way to help myself get organized, but also make decisions moving forward to how to make my work life easier. So if you're here for a reset, you're here in the right place. It's so nice to be with you here today. So what are we going to be doing today in this mini workshop? Well, first of all, we'll create a vision of a work life that sparks joy to you so that you have that guiding North Star to know where you're moving towards. Secondly, we will talk about 3 tips for how you can declutter your workspace with ease. I'll talk about Marie Kondo's books, including The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up and her Joy at Work book, which is a lesser known book that she co-wrote with an organizational psychologist. And this has some great tips for how to apply the KonMari method to your workspace. And finally, I'll share about my free clutter clear out party, and you're welcome to join me if you want to create a space to really get some accountability and support with your decluttering. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's start with the vision. We are going to take just a couple of minutes to do a short visualization exercise. So if you're in a place where you're able to close your eyes or look in one spot, obviously don't do this if you're driving, but if you can, we're just going to take 2 or 3 minutes. So if you can get comfortable, close your eyes. And take a couple of deep breaths. It's 2026. We're here in a new year. How are you feeling? Just do a moment to take a body scan. How does your body feel right now? Is it tense, clenched? Does it feel relaxed, happy, stressed? All feelings are welcome here. And I'd like you to think about something you want to appreciate yourself for this past year. What do you want to tell yourself? Congrats, or give yourself a pat on the back, or just even maybe it was a really hard thing that you made it through. So, how do you want to appreciate yourself today? Maybe it's a quality that you love about yourself. And now, what do you want to appreciate about your work or your work space? What's something you like about it that it helps you with, that you help with? What's something you want to appreciate about your work or your workspace? Take a deep breath. And now, if you could wave a magic wand and anything were possible, what would your work look like? What would your workspace look like? We all work in different locations. Some people might have an office space, some people might be out in the field. What's your workspace and what would it be if you could wave a magic wand? What would light you up? Now take a final look around at that work, that job, that space where you're working, maybe who you're working with, how you feel, and open your eyes. You can take a little stretch. And now if you have a journal or you can write it in your phone or wherever you can write, I would just write a couple of notes from that little exercise. What's something that you want to appreciate about yourself? What do you want to appreciate about your work? And what's something from your magic wand vision that inspired you? So I'll just give a little couple of minutes here. Write down what you appreciate about yourself, what you appreciate about your work, and what's a word from your magic wand vision that inspired you. I'll share mine as you're writing. I did some big things in my business this year, new big things, and I want to congratulate myself for it. It was a lot of work. I actually have another business as well. So, but it went well, and I showed myself I can do more than I realized. And I want to appreciate myself for that, for doing the hard things. Appreciate my work for fueling me and exciting me, and the vision I'm bringing with me, my inspiring vision is more support. So, okay, well, I hope you've written down a couple of notes that you can take with you moving forward. This is the first piece. Sometimes people just want to dive into it and like, okay, let's declutter, let's get organized, but actually creating that vision will really guide you and ground you. So that's the first piece. So let's talk about 3 tips to declutter your workspace. And I want to share the first tip in how to really apply Marie Kondo's method to a workspace. So if you've read her Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, you will know that there are 5 key categories. And we go in category order. So the first category is clothes. The second one is books. Now I'm raising my hand on Zoom. Okay. The third one is papers. The fourth one is miscellaneous or anything else, called kimono in Japanese. Last one is sentimental. So those are the 5 key categories. So as you're thinking about going through and decluttering, I recommend that you use the Marie Kondo categories rather than thinking in locations. And then you can still go into a certain location. So for example, if you're going to work in your workspace, go into that space and look for what are the categories you have. I would expect you might have a few books. Do those first. Next, papers. Definitely, I'm assuming you'll have a lot of papers. I have a lot of papers in my workspace. And then next is miscellaneous. You may have office supplies, you may have equipment, other kinds of supplies. And then sentimental, do you have photos? Do you have notes or things? You may want to bring in a couple of nice things like a plant or a photo that makes you feel good into your space. So those are the 5 categories, and apply them in the workspace by just going in category order for the categories that exist in your workspace. So that's my first tip. Go in category order, start with books, then do papers, and move through the categories thinking that way. If you really focus on a category, it allows you to really make a lot of progress there, and just put the other categories at bay and know that you'll reach them when you get to that order. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, it's about the category of papers. Papers, papers, papers. I got into organizing because I was overloaded with papers from my events business, holding on to everything, feeling like I need to be the owner of all this information and, doing good work, but also feeling like I don't have time to organize. Like the work is doing the actual events, not the organizing of things. But if you think about it, if you don't have an organized workspace, whether that's in, papers, in-person items, or it could be digitally, it's going to slow you down in your work. So that is part of the work, is having systems that work for us. So I want to talk about papers and how to organize papers. There are 2 key categories of papers. There's action and there's reference. So for action, they may be things like, oh, I need to call this person, send an email, add this to a list, something that you need to take an action on. So for those, I recommend getting these clear plastic sleeves. That's exactly what they're called. You can look them up on Amazon, on Office Depot. They're at Daiso sometimes. They are clear plastic sleeves. They're a little bigger than 8.5 by 11, so that you can put everything that you need for one action item in here. So if you're talking about you have to call the bank, for example, and you have some paperwork, you might have the phone number, you can put a post-it of what you're going to do. That goes in the action sleeve, and it's all together. But it's see-through, so you don't forget about it. That's action. For reference, I just recommend regular file holders. You can get ones that spark joy for you if you want, and you can just file them in a file box if you have a file drawer, just putting things away that way. But I would ask yourself, reference, if it's reference, are you referencing it? So if you needed that information, would you go there to that folder, or would you look it up online? Would you look for it in your phone? Would you ask somebody about it? So just think about how you're actually using that information. And it's okay to keep papers. Papers are fine. Some people love having a paper copy of things, myself included. But if you're not using it for the purpose that it's meant to be used, then just ask yourself, what's the intention behind it? So papers, again, action, clear plastic sleeves, or reference. So that's tip 2. So we talked about tip 1, go in category order, apply those categories to the workplace. Tip 2, papers can be divided into action and reference. Okay, so what's a third tip that can help you as you're working in the workspace, maybe in some areas that might not be the tangible things? Well, then we're going to talk about Joy at Work, this book, which for those who are attending the live workshop, there's going to be some special prizes of this book. So this is with Scott Sonnenschein and Marie Kondo together. Scott is an organizational psychologist, and Marie takes her obviously life-changing method of tidying up and applies it to the workspace. So if there's things that are not tangible that you want to declutter, maybe those are calendar meetings, maybe those are digital items, you can apply the same technique that you use with tangible items. So for example, for digital documents, if they're saved in a lot of different places, I had that. I had things saved in Google Drive. I had things saved in my computer. I had things saved on flash drives, Dropbox, they're everywhere. Bring them all together. So in the Marie Kondo method, say you're decluttering clothes at your home. The first step is bringing them all together, taking everything out and putting it on the bed. So you can do that same method with digital things. Bring them all together to the same place. Then you can cross-check what you have, what things are saved. Are they labeled in a way that you can find them? Now things are much easier to find digitally by searching things. So we don't have to have a lot of the same organizational tools of folders and subfolders that we may have had to have before, because we can search. So just think about a system that works for you, but it starts by bringing it together and seeing what you have. That can be scary, I know, but that's the first step. And it's really the best way to know what you have. And then from there, you declutter and make a system that works for you. This can also be applied for, say, meetings that you attend, that you run. It can be applied to calendar appointments. Write them on an index card and put them all together and see. This helps you to even create an idea of what sparks joy for you in your work. If you look at all your calendar appointments that you have and you realize, oh, I really like doing this one thing with patients, but I really don't like this other thing. Obviously, we're working within the constraints of things that we can control some things, but we can't control others. That's okay. It's still getting to know what sparks joy for you and move that towards your vision. If your vision is, I really want to be able to have a work that allows me to go home at this certain time so that I can take care of my pet or my kids, or I want to be able to be more involved with patients or clients. Like, think about those things, and that may be possible in our current position, or it may be something that we work towards. So try to think about the vision, and then also what are some things you can find that will spark joy in your current environment if you're not able to be at that vision right now. So that might be, like I said, bringing in a plant, bringing in a picture, doing the things in your work that spark more joy for you. Move towards joy. That's always the Marie Kondo method, is moving towards joy. And sometimes it's finding those appreciation in the things that may not spark joy in one way, but they can in another. So for example, Marie Kondo was decluttering her family's items and she got rid of everything, including her hammer, because it didn't spark joy. But then she wanted to hang up a poster and she used her favorite ruler to hang up the poster and she broke it. So she learned from that, like, oh, you know what? This hammer, it does spark joy because it allows me to hang my favorite poster. So you may not love the look of the hammer, but you can give it a little appreciation because of the usefulness that it has in your life, the tool, what that tool allows you to do. So some things that we can't control in an outside environment and inside environment, we can bring some more appreciation to them as we also move towards our vision that sparks more joy. Okay, well, those were tips for you. Created your vision, and then our 3 tips were really go in category order, think of papers in action versus reference and store accordingly. And finally, use some of the tips from Joy at Work to apply the Marie Kondo method of bringing everything together, seeing what sparks joy, thinking and letting go of the things that we can think and let go of, and moving towards more joy as we appreciate the things that have a usefulness in our work. So that's it for today. I hope that helped you. I'm wishing you a very happy new year. And if you're interested, I'm inviting any of you to join my Clutter Clara party on Zoom. I have a free pass. I'll share the information so that way if you'd love to join, I'd love to have you. It's every second Saturday. And so you'll get a chance to really focus on something if you want to work on something work or personal, and really just declutter that and have the support and accountability of a community who's doing the same. So they're really fun, and I will love to have you. I'll send a pass so that you can come for free as my guest. And I'm wishing you a very happy new year, and until next time. Bye.